President Obama did his State of the Union address last night, and we watched it. We had a hangout here with the Progressive Army and watched it. It was also a non-eventful event. Not much to recap, except for the fact that Kim. Well, let me not start with Kim Davis. That's the low-hanging fruit. One, I want to start here. You guys have to forgive me. Michelle Obama was fabulous last night. She was stunning. That yellow dress was everything. I don't talk. Listen, I love when a woman or a man, for that matter, is well put together. Michelle Obama was flawless last night. I'm going to make my applause work on here somewhere. I'm going to get my applause going. It's too late. But she was absolutely stunning. Okay, so I had to say that. There are a lot of people in the audience. The CEO of Microsoft was there, and you had the highs and the lows. You also had Kim Davis in the audience. And I read this morning that Kim Davis was invited by her Republican senator. The funny thing about it is, if this story I believe I read it in Raw Story. I just kind of read it in passing on Facebook, so I can't really validate it. So let me say I heard that the White House, or the coordinators of the seating arrangements, had Kim Davis sitting between same-sex couples or surrounded by same-sex couples. So at that point, I was like, okay, it was worthwhile having Kim Davis there just so that she could sit uncomfortably in whatever that was she was wearing. I'm not a fashion critic, but I just know what I like. And I'm not speaking for anybody else, but Michelle Obama was stunning. And I don't know what the hell Kim Davis had on. All I know is that she was there and she looked as angry and bitter and upset and as constipated as Paul Ryan and Marco Rubio. Paul Ryan, and we discussed this ad nauseum on David Pakman's show today, but I just wanted to bring it up here with you guys because it's another example of Tom Cotton. It doesn't matter the expense. They must at all costs oppose President Obama. And that was evident in the State of the Union address last night, while Paul Ryan did everything he could to hold his semi-smirk / constipated, I need to eat some food / poker face, also that he would not give any indication that he approved whatsoever of anything President Obama has accomplished. The economy has recovered. 14 million jobs have been added. The stock market has tripled. All of these successful things. And Paul Ryan could not clap. Let's do something for the veterans, President Obama says. Paul Ryan would not clap. The only thing he clapped for was when President Obama said, we need to oppose any law or any politician that wants to divide us based on race or religion. That's the only thing he applauded for. And it's almost like, why would you even applaud for that when your base is clearly in favor of a Donald Trump who wants to filter out anyone from coming into America that's Muslim? So there was a lot of craziness that not in President Obama's speech. A matter of fact, we could talk about the State of the Union without even mentioning President Obama's speech, because it was a speech that, this is the last speech. In my opinion, President Obama was throwing the deuces and saying, I'm out, drop the mic. I've done what I've come to do. I'm going back to Chicago and I'm going to get me $150,000 for a 10-minute speech. That's kind of what I felt about President Obama's speech last night. But everything around it, Marco Rubio looked like, man, I could be raising money right now. I really need to raise money so I can catch up right now. And then he was also looked like he was thinking, damn, I cannot stand Ted Cruz. That's what Marco Rubio looked like, in addition to the fact that he looked a little thirsty, but that's neither here nor there. So that was the entire that's it on the State of the Union. Not much more to say about that other than the fact that Michelle Obama was absolutely fabulous. Fabulous. Juxtaposed to the Republican hero, Kim Davis, who looked a pathetic mess and angry. Moving on.